You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. One of my favorite expressions, you've heard me say it a bajillion times, one of my favorite expressions is actions speak louder than words. You all know what it means. As LSU spring practice was nearing its end, Brian Kelly was doing a press conference, and he was asked point blank about pursuing players in the transfer portal, defensive players in the portal, other than defensive tackles. This is what Brian Kelly said.
I don't see any other positions that we need to be in the transfer portal for other than the defensive tackle position, really.
Okay. Yet today, there's a report from On3 that LSU is targeting Wake Forest cornerback Deshawn Jones, who is in the transfer portal. Actions speak louder than words. Now, I want to be very clear about something. I'm not criticizing Brian Kelly. I think at the moment he said those words, he probably sincerely believed them. Their numbers were good at cornerback. They were making their way through spring, and I don't think they had any inclination that they were going to be in the portal for a cornerback. However, whenever you get to this point in this current day and age in college football, to make your team better, you absolutely do it. So this is not a criticism. I am lauding and applauding LSU for seeing a player at a gigantic position of need enter the portal and say, let's go get that guy. Because in this current state of college football, you have that opportunity. Brian Kelly said it a couple of weeks ago. The reason that he loves his job, what motivates him, why he does what he does, is the development of players, not only on the field, but as people. And they're going to continue to build the program that way. Yes, you recruit and develop great high school talent and hope they stay for 3 and 4 or 5 years, and you develop them as football players and as people. And you graduate champions, and that's his whole moniker. And I think that's wonderful. But he's paid $100 million to win football games. And LSU, a year ago, should have been a college football playoff team, but for the fact that their defense was quite literally the worst in program history. You had a historic offense, literally the number one scoring and total offense in college football, and you lost 3 games because you go to Oxford, Mississippi, score 48 and lose because your defense was atrocious. If you have the opportunity to make your defense better and the transfer portal allows you that, you do it. And you do it because everyone is doing it. Oh, wait, let me correct myself. Not everyone. There is one very notable team that refuses to use the portal, right, Dabo?
I don't see any.
That's not the one I wanted.
Should I have gone to the transfer portal and take a veteran over Shipley and Maffa because Shipley got hurt? I'm not. Maybe you would if you're the head coach and, you can do whatever you want, but I wouldn't change anything.
Hey, Dabo, you wouldn't change anything. That's why you're not nationally contending anymore. By the way, Clemson in this cycle has had 12 players enter the portal. Anyone want to guess? Muse, you want to guess? How many players has Clemson taken in the portal in this cycle?
0.
Nailed it. Give yourself a ding. I tell you what, throw that man as well. 0. A big old goose egg. 0, 0. There it is, right there. 0 incoming transfers in this cycle. That's why Clemson is no longer competitive. You have more outgoing than incoming. You're losing talent. You're not bringing in talent. Let me rephrase. You're losing talent at a greater rate than you're bringing it in. Everyone else is supplementing their rosters, and you refuse to do it. That's why you're losing. So, yes, absolutely. Bring in Deshawn Jones from Wake Forest if he wants to commit. Listen, Brian Kelly, Corey Raymond, Blake Baker all got a good look at this secondary in spring. Here was Blake Baker at the end of spring about how he felt his cornerbacks were progressing.
I think the corners have probably grown more than any group from practice 1 to practice
what are we in, 11, 12? Those corners have gotten much, much better, really as a unit. I think we have guys probably playing a little more in their natural position. I've been pleased with them. I think we got to continue to grow, and that will be the motto across summer workouts and everything. But I do think we have some really good pieces to work with back there. I think we have good depth as well.
I should probably mention, if I haven't yet, that LSU, I think it did mention, that LSU is targeting Deshawn Jones, who's a cornerback out of Wake Forest. A little thumbnail on him. 2 years with the Demon Deacons. He has played in 22 games. He started 9 of the 10 games this past year in which he appeared. He led the team with 3 interceptions. He is a long corner who started at the Power 5 level. He is a guy that has experience that most guys on your team don't have. And I want to be clear. LSU, from a number standpoint, probably okay at cornerback. The problem is every single cornerback you have comes with a giant, glaring question. Zy Alexander was good last year, but he's coming off a torn ACL. Is he going to be ready? And if so, at what capacity? Don't know. J.K. Johnson, transferred in from Ohio State, missed all of last year with a leg injury. He was out there for the end of spring. Is he going to be healthy, 100% ready to go at what level? Don't know. Could those guys both be awesome? Sure, they could be, but it's a giant question. Last year, Ashton Stamps, Javen Toviano, a couple of freshmen, they played a lot in their freshman year. They played a lot in an atrocious secondary. Now, Ashton Stamps, we found out later, was battling a nagging injury all last year, and maybe it was just you got 2 true freshmen out there in the fire, and maybe this year they grow up. Maybe, or maybe they don't. P.J. Woodland took a lot of reps this spring with the ones. That's a true freshman early enrollee. That's also a sad state at the cornerback position when a true freshman early enrollee that's not named Derek Stingley is taking reps with the ones. But in any event, is he going to be awesome? P.J. Woodland going to be awesome as a true freshman this year with LSU? I hope so. But that's a giant question if a true freshman out there on an island in the SEC is going to be ready to roll. You brought in Jair Brown from Ohio State in the transfer portal. He was here for spring. That's awesome. This guy started at high school at Warren Easton. His family moved to Cincinnati. He goes to Ohio State. He was a big-time 4-star prospect. Played a couple of years there in Columbus. Played in 13 games in 2 years at Columbus. So was never really a consistent player, consistent starter. Could he maybe take that big leap in year 3 of his college career? Could. But again, they're all questions. There are no certainties. There are no answers. There are no definitive answers in your secondary today. So if you have the option or the opportunity to add a guy who is a proven Power 5 starter, you're adding something you don't have on your roster right now. And if one of those questions gets answered to the affirmative, Zy Alexander, J.K. Johnson, Jair Brown, Ashton Stamps, P.J. Woodland, Javen Toviano, if any of those questions I just asked get answered to the affirmative, awesome. Great news for LSU. But what if none of them do? Well, then you have the same situation you had last year because Denver Harris never matured. And Deuce Chestnut couldn't play at this level. And the freshmen weren't ready. And Zy Alexander got hurt. And J.K. Johnson got hurt. And all those questions got answered to the negative, and that's what happened a year ago. So, yes, you have an opportunity to add a Power 5 starting cornerback in the transfer portal. You absolutely do it, even if less than a month ago, Brian Kelly was saying the only position that they're going to target in the portal is defensive line. If you can add Deshawn Jones or any starting cornerback with Power 5 experience, you do it. Because the system allows you to do it. And the only one that wouldn't do it is Dabo, and that's why his program is never going to reach the heights it once did, because he's voluntarily playing at a disadvantage. He is choosing to tie an arm behind his back. And LSU's not doing that. So if you can get him, go get him. By the way, just from a number standpoint, remember, you lost Denver Harris and Deuce Chestnut and LaTerrence Welch and Jeremiah Hughes. You had 4 cornerbacks outgoing. Now you signed 2 freshmen. You brought in Jair Brown. You could stand to add another one back there, especially if it's one with starting experience. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.